right, it is time to go ahead and get the kids out of the room. We're having a grown-up discussion this morning. We are talking about maybe your love life isn't quite as action-packed as, say, when you first said, I do. And if that happens, that's certainly, you're not the only one, for sure. Joining us this morning is Dr. Rose Hartzell from San Diego Sexual Medicine at Alvarado Hospital. She's here with the top excuses that are sabotaging your sex life. Thank you for being here, Rose. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's jump right into it. Let's get to the first one. Honey, I'm just too tired. This is one of the top excuses that you say are just sabotaging people's relationships. What can we do about this?
This is really common with work, with children, and other obligations.
Yes.
When people get to bed, the last thing they want to do, or the first thing they want to do under the sheets is go to sleep. Yeah. So one thing I'm thinking that can be helpful to couples is that not every sexual activity that you engage in has to be this long, drawn-out process. Sometimes you might want to have a quickie. And it always doesn't have to be a nighttime activity. So sometimes in the morning, perhaps, or Saturday afternoon, you might feel a little more energized. And in addition, if you want, sometimes if you go for a run or something and then come back, you can feel more energized.
Right. Set yourself up for success by timing it properly.
Right.
Okay, very good. Let's get to our next excuse that's sabotaging relationships. The kids are taking over the bed. This is a problem for a lot of folks who allow their kids, especially the little ones, to sleep with them. That can cause problems.
Yeah, I can do a whole segment on how children can impact the sex life. But you're right. So what you're talking about is the family bed, and it's been a little more popular recently, and especially when a child is, brand new and you're breastfeeding, it can be a great thing. But after about 3 months, it can really wreak havoc on a sex life, and not just your sex life, but your emotional intimacy as well. Because if you think about it, at nighttime, sometimes you'll have those conversations that only the two of you can have, and you can't do that with the child in the room.
Right.
So I definitely recommend, if possible, not to do the family bed. And then also, like I was talking about earlier, sex doesn't always have to be at night.
Right.
You can try to get your child to bed, and it can be difficult. So you might want to consider having it during the day, on a weekend, or hire a sitter. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Right, right. Very good. All right, let's get to our next excuse that's sabotaging relationships. The next one, call off the dogs. What are we talking about here?
So research indicates that 42% of dog owners have their pets or their dogs in the bed with them at night. And if you're single, this can be a great thing. But as a couple, sometimes having the animal can be a mood kill.
Yeah.
So I like to keep the bed, or have couples keep the bed as a sacred space for just the two of them. So there's plenty of other places to cuddle with your animal.
Right, the bed isn't your preferred one. All right, let's talk about the next excuse that's causing people to not have as much action as they'd hoped for. One glass of wine too many. Maybe you've had a little too much to drink, and that can make you tired too. That gets back to our first problem.
Right, exactly. So a lot of couples like to have a glass of wine or two in the evening with dinner, and sometimes they'll report that it causes them to have more desire. But I like to say there's a fine line between frisky and flaccid.
Yeah.
So it's a depressant. So if you do have too many, it can make you fatigued. It can actually decrease your desire, and it can impair erectile function. So what I like to tell couples to do is, think ahead. So are you wanting to get drunk, or are you wanting to engage in romance? If that's the case, you might want to hold off on that extra glass.
Again, planning ahead and thinking ahead.
Yeah, think ahead. What do you want?
Right. Okay, and our last excuse that is sabotaging our relationships is wait just a few more emails.
So with a lot more people working at home, and I'm just even thinking in your occupation or real estate agents, there's always, you're checking your emails. We have cell phones, we have Kindles, we have MacBooks. Everyone's like always kind of wired, right? And for some people, that's not a problem in their relationship, but for others, you need to set some boundaries. So you don't, want your mother calling while you're engaging in sexual activity, right? So take some quality time for just the two of you. And when I say quality time, I don't mean just like time just the two of you, quality time. That means turning off your devices,
Right.
just spending it engaging together. And that allows you time to engage in other activities.
Because even if you're not actively checking emails or phone calls, if it's on and nearby, you can hear it dinging or whatever, and that can cause a distraction.
Right, and the other person might feel that you aren't paying attention to them or that you aren't prioritizing the relationship. So it doesn't have to be forever, but
Right.
to set some boundaries.
Yeah, just a specified time. Do you say, okay, this amount of time in the evening is a good idea, kind of to specify, okay, 5 to 7 every evening, whatever, is going to be our electronics off?
And that's really up to the couple.
Yeah.
So whatever works for the couple. Like for you, you have to get up at like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
Raul, I have to all the time.
So your time's going to be different.
Yeah.
And the amount of time that you are going to need is going to be different, so
Right.
that you can determine as a couple. But
Dr. Rose, so good to see you. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much. We
having
really
me.
appreciate it. Congrats on your precious
Thank
baby
you.
girl. Couple of months old. She's so sweet. All right, to get in touch with Dr. Rose Hartzell, visit our website, fox5sandiego.com, and click on that Scene On tab. Mr. Martinez, back over to you.
See, Dr. Rose, Erica usually wakes up around 7:30 in the morning.
No, I don't. I get up earlier than that.
And for the record, I think Brad Wills and I could easily do a segment like this next time.
Oh, really? You think you could handle it?
No.
I'd like to see that.
No. Thank you both very much. Still